Hey, what's going on, people? It's your guy, it's your man, it's that guy, Johnny Hawkins, also known in the legal community and in the state of Michigan, registered as such as Johnny Hawkins, the warrior lawyer. And in the social media space, Johnny Hawkins, the vibe master. Hey, I'm glad to be here and glad to be talking to you. Coming to you basically to discuss for the benefit of young men of color in specific and all men younger in age, the do's and don'ts, or what I would recommend honestly to you if you're at the age of, let's say, just out of high school, just preparing to exit high school because you graduated and are moving forward now towards pursuing your upper level education and or skill or trade. Okay. So what this conversation piece is going to be is me, Johnny Hawkins, introducing myself to you in hopes that once I've introduced myself, you feel more comfortable in taking my advice, number one, and then me recommending certain things to you that I would even recommend to myself. You know, now that I'm a 56, going on 57-year-old man of color, to be more specific. Okay, what I would recommend to myself if I were 20. Okay, what I recommended to my sons that are now all in their 30s. Not to say that you'll listen to everything that I say. I didn't listen to everything my parents said. I wish I had, at least for the majority of things they suggested. And my sons didn't listen to everything that I said. It's your life. You're going to be an adult. As soon as you graduate and turn 18, as a matter of law, you're an adult. So you're going to make certain choices. I hope you make good choices. And I hope this short video, which I'm going to try to keep under 15, 20 minutes, will be beneficial to you in the long run. Okay? So again, my name is Johnny Hawkins. I am, by way of profession, a licensed attorney in the state of Michigan. I've been practicing law in the state of Michigan for more than 25 years now. I basically, after high school, went to the military, U.S. Army to be more specific. I enlisted for 4 years and was honorably discharged. I came home to the Metro Detroit area at the age of 22 after having been in the military for 4 years and got a crappy job because I wasn't sure about what I wanted to do. My first job out when I exited the military was a janitor. And when I say that my janitorial job was bad, it was bad. It was boring for me. I could have done better. I have nothing against janitors. I think janitors are great, but that profession, that trade was not good for me. I needed to be doing more. So I did it only for about a month. And then I got out of it. And then I worked for Federal Express, okay, as a courier. It was a great job. I did that for about 2.5, 3 years. And then I worked as a paraprofessional at a family law firm. And I got my business degree as an associate's degree from a junior college, and then from there I went to a senior college, inner city senior college, Wayne State University. I majored with honors at both my junior college, Oakland Community College, out of Oakland County, Royal Oak, and then I majored in business, got a bachelor's of science degree in business from Wayne State University, before then going on to law school. The law school that I started at was initially an inner city law school called Detroit College of Law that was acquired by Michigan State University. So now, presently, it's known as Michigan State University's College of Law. So who would have thunk it? I ended up graduating from a top 10 university with a law degree of Juris Doctorate. And that puts me in the top 2% of educated persons in the United States and in the workforce. That's amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment, given that if you know my history, I was born to a young lady who was only 16 when she had me, to a man who was then married to her who was 19, who then they got a divorce. And then from there, I was adopted by a great man at the age of 5, okay, who then raised me to be a man. And I took on his name, and I'm so thankful and blessed for that. I took on the Hawkins name at the age of 5 after, again, being born to a 16-year-old young lady, her and my biological father then being divorced, and then my mother meeting a great man and him working at a factory, GMC Truck and Bus, who then adopted me at the age of 5. And then me going to all inner city schools, me living in subsidized housing for the first part of my life, from ages, I would say, from 0 through the age of maybe 10. So the first 10 years, I lived in subsidized housing, quote unquote, project type housing. I went to all public schools, and then I went off to the military after I graduated high school. Okay, I still made it. So that's my history. I am married now. This is my second marriage. My first marriage didn't work out, but I was fortunate and was blessed to be married a second time. I am the father of 3, 1 stepson and 2 biological sons that I had with my first wife. All of my sons reached the age of 30, 31, 32. I unfortunately, most recently, just lost my first biological son at the age of 32, based on some mental health challenges that he was having, as well as self-medicating and becoming an alcoholic, because it runs in the genes, both the mental health issues that he had as well as alcoholism. Okay? I own my own law firm and have had my own law firm for more than 25 years. And I've made millions and millions, or millions upon millions of dollars for my clients and myself. Okay? So that's my history. That brings you up to date on who I am. Again, Johnny Hawkins, the Warrior Lawyer. Google me if you like. I even suggest that you do. I'm Johnny Hawkins, attorney at law. Just type in Attorney Johnny Hawkins or Johnny Hawkins, the Warrior Lawyer, and you'll find me. Okay, I am a national trial lawyer, top 100. I'm in the multi-millionaire forum, as well as millionaire forum club. So I've paid my dues. I've earned every single dime that I've made, and I've worked very hard, and I've been very patient. So that's my history. That's who I am. Okay? I was born and raised in the state of Michigan, but then moved out of the state of Michigan and made California my primary residence at the age of 45-ish, But I've always kept my roots in Michigan, and I've gotten around. So I've had a great career thus far. I've had a great personal life thus far. I've had 2 great marriages, but the first didn't end as well as I would have hoped. And so it ended, and then I ended up marrying a beautiful woman for a second time. So I was blessed twice, okay? And I've been a father and a professional. So that's me. That's taken up a lot of the time here, but I'm not going to shortchange you because I've told you who I am and what my history is, what my roots are. But I thought it imperative that I do that so that then you can make a decision as to whether or not I was a guy with the credentials, okay, or the street cred for some of you guys that would make you feel convinced that y'all should listen to this guy, okay? I hope you do. I hope you get something out of what I'm about to say to you. As a black man, a business owner, a black professional that was born and raised in the hood, came up in the streets, and still made it to where I am today. I hope you take some of what I'm about to say seriously and you apply it or consider applying it and using it to benefit yourself. So what's my advice? It's Pretty simple. Number one, at the age of 18, you really don't know anything. You really don't know much of anything. Said the Johnny way, what they call Johnnyism, you don't know shit. And that's not to insult you. That's just the truth. I didn't know anything. My father at 18 didn't know anything. You don't know much. You may have a high school diploma, and I hope you do. And you've experienced very little. That being said, what you should do at this point is decide what you want to do and what you want to learn to make your financial future the best that it can be. You have to decide as soon as you know on what it is you want to do. You have to do that. You have to decide if you want to go to a junior college or to a four-year university based on what you're able to get into, or if you're just going to do a trade or skill that could also be very profitable. Heating and cooling specialist, IT specialist, a journeyman of some sort in electrical, again, heating and cooling, welding, etc. And IT is really doing well these days. So the computer industry, the gaming industry, these are things that you can do and that you should consider. I would say consider those above and beyond, or more so than you do trying to become a professional athlete if you don't have a scholarship to be going even to play at a university in sports, or to become a rapper or hip hop artist or producer. Don't make those your most important goals if you don't have your education and what you want to do for a living at least somewhat known, or something that you are comfortable in saying that you know that you want to do. Okay? Take your future and what you want or where you see yourself financially very seriously. Take it very serious so that you then do what you need to do to get yourself in a position to be able to accomplish something that will then make you financially independent and capable of caring for yourself. It's very important, very important. What you do now with regard to selecting your career and your future and what your finances should look like, or you hope will look like as you grow older, what you do now is going to be very important, because trust and believe, physically, you're very capable of doing anything right now, but as you age, you won't always be that way. It won't be that way. You're in your peak physically right now. You're not in your peak mentally and intellectually right now. That mental and that intellectual you can improve upon every year. The physical, you'll peak and you'll plateau, and then you'll start going down. That's just the way this life is. That's just the way life is for all humans. It's going to be that way for you. It was that way for me. The six-pack that you have now, if you have one, you probably won't have that in your 50s. Okay? But the education that you acquire in your 20s and 30s will be of great benefit to you as you move forward and as you're looking for work and job opportunities and considering career moves as you grow older. So make education and deciding what you want to do for your career as a top priority. Do that. That's what I would say you should do first and foremost. Secondly, always take care of yourself physically. Get in the habit of exercising. Get in the habit of acquiring a taste for good food, diet, and exercise. Do that. Third, be careful who you hang out with. Be selective about who you decide are your friends or your so-called homies. Okay? Because who you hang around can dictate and determine what you will become in years to come. So be careful about who you hang out with. Be very selective, and don't apologize for being selective. Okay, that's number 3. From a social standpoint, get out and network. These will be your best years moving forward in your late teens and your 20s. Get out and introduce yourself to the world and to people and to places and to things. Build your own brand. Build your own reputation. Create a good reputation for yourself. So when people hear your name in your circle, they know already, even before you show up, about you. They feel good about meeting you. Build your brand. Take the time to do that. Okay? Socially. Relationship wise, I would say don't be in too much of a hurry to try to get married. You'll have time for that. Okay? Ideally, at least me personally, having been married twice, I would say you're probably going to be in a better position financially, mentally, and emotionally to be seriously considering marriage in your early 30s. If you do some of what I've already asked you to do or proposed that you do, gotten yourself together financially, gotten your educational requirements out of the way, gotten a good job, built your brand, you'll be in good shape in your 30s. And if you're in good shape, you'll be more likely to then select as your life mate someone that is more equally yoked with you. You'll make a better choice. That's just the way it works. So with regard to relationships, date, of course, get to know people, be respectful, be selective with regard to who you date, and enjoy yourself. Have a good time. That doesn't mean having sex with any and every person that you meet, every woman. That's not a good thing. STDs are real. Some are permanent, so be careful. Okay? Take care of yourself. Yes, you'll probably have sex, but have safe sex if you decide to do that, or abstain, you know? But be careful and enjoy yourself. All right? Have a good time. Get to know yourself and those that you associate with and those that you date in your 20s. And again, don't feel that you have to find your spouse or your wife or marry your high school sweetheart in your 20s. You will meet other women. You will meet other people. Your circle will grow. And so in your 30s, again, just my personal opinion, I think you'll be in a much better position unless you have met that so-called soulmate early in your early 20s or in college. You won't need to be concerned about marrying. Just be focused on getting to know yourself better. Okay? Do that for yourself. You owe that to yourself. Fall more in love with yourself in a very positive way. Get to know who you are so that then you can love, really love, the woman of your dreams that you'll probably meet later on in your late 20s, early 30s. Ideally, that would be great. Okay? So, and then what I would say lastly is as you're entering the workspace and starting to make money in your early 20s, and especially after you graduate college, or as soon as you start making money in your 20s, learn to save, to put something aside. Make it a habit, just like dieting and exercising. Make it a habit to save. I would propose saving 10% of what you earn. Do that. Do that. Make that something that you make as a priority as well. Saving and understanding savings. And don't fall into the credit card hold. Okay? Don't do that. Be responsible financially. Become a good steward. Learn about finances and savings. And look into the term compound interest. See if you can find mediums and tools and investments that might afford you the opportunity to what? Benefit from the concept of compound interest. But learn about investing and finances again, as I've said. And if you do that, you'll have more money in your 30s than you had in your 20s. And that will then set you up to be more financially secure, be better able to then care for your wife, children that you guys may decide to have, and even purchasing a home. So these are the most important things I would say you need to be considering as you exit high school and prepare for life as an adult in America. Do those things. Please consider them. I hope you consider some of these things as having been valuable to you and that you take them seriously and think about it. And what I really hope, if I'm lucky here, is that you will adopt some of these suggestions as your own, and then moving forward, make them a part of you so that you have a fun and fantastic 20s period, and then your 30s be even better. Remember, my concept is always, or my goal, or my aspiration for all you guys is that you become better as you age. I wish you better. It's basically in a nutshell. I, Johnny Hawkins, wish you better as you progress in life. I'm thinking that I've dropped a couple of knowledge drops now for you to consider, and if you do, that they will be beneficial to you moving forward. So I would ask if you appreciated anything that I've said in this video that's now somewhere in the range of 15 minutes of real advice and 5 minutes, or almost 9 minutes being my introduction. I would hope that you liked it, got something from it, appreciated some of what I've said, didn't find it too boring, and will now give me a big thumbs up, thumbs up, like this video, as well as consider subscribing to this page, which is the homepage for my soon-to-be podcast, Conversations with Johnny. Conversations with Johnny is this YouTube page. This is the YouTube page where my podcast will be basically created and then streamed from. So I hope, young man, that you will like and subscribe and then share what you've learned. Share this video and share my name. I'm trying to get my subscriptions up, and I'm trying to really share information that I think would be beneficial to young men of color coming up in the 21st century. I wish you better. I wish you a great 20s and a more amazing 30s. And I hope to see you one day, us both, in the Billionaires Club. How about that? But at the very least, if you do what you have to do, you'll end up being the millionaire next door. At the very least, if you do what you need to do and you take some of these tips that I provided, you'll make that. Make good choices. But you may even do better. Okay? That's what I hope for you. So peace and blessings. Goodbye for now. This has been Johnny Hawkins, your man, aka the Vibe Master in the social media space, and Johnny Hawkins, the warrior lawyer in the legal community. God bless.